Good morning, students. This is your teacher Neelam Elawat, and today we'll continue with the chapter that is your chapter number 7, Control and Coordination. And I hope you remember, students, yesterday we have discussed the basics of this chapter, right? What do you mean by the control? What is meant by coordination? I hope you remember. So your every system, right? Your every system in your body performs one single specific function. But to perform that function, your all organs, they are properly under the control and they are coordinating with each other so that that desired function can be performed. Right, everyone? Yesterday, we have spoken about the digestive system, isn't it? That your digestive system brings about the digestion of food. So here, your mouth, your stomach, small intestine, large intestine, all of them, they perform their individual function, right? And their functions, they are related with each other, right? So today we'll continue with the lecture number 2. We'll see some examples also. Now suppose you're touching a hot object, right? You're touching a hot object. Suddenly by chance your fingers falls on the burning matchstick. So what will happen? If you touch a hot object, what will happen? You will experience pain, isn't it? आपको जलन होगी. So what you will do? You will immediately remove your finger, isn't it? You will immediately remove your finger. Now this sudden action, like you put your finger on the, by chance you're touching a hot object, by chance your hands or feet, they fall on the thorn, कांटे पर अगर आप लग जाती है, चोट लग जाती है, so immediately you remove your hand, isn't it, everyone? So this particular action that is happening suddenly is called a reflex action, right? This is called a reflex action, all of you. So what is a reflex action? The sudden action that is performed, right? Suppose you are touching the hot object, immediately you will withdraw your hand. Now in this case, what actually happens? How this action is being performed? Now tell me whether if you want that I should keep my hand or the finger it should be kept on the hot object. Will you be able to? अगर आप चाहते हैं continuously आप गर्म चीज़ के ऊपर अपना हाथ रखे रहें तो आप रख सकते हैं. Can you control? No. So basically this action is not in your control. It is an automatic action. It is an involuntary action. Okay, dear? So what basically happens when your finger falls on the hot object or when you suddenly touch a hot object, immediately the message goes to your spinal cord. Okay, your message goes to your spinal cord and this information is taken by the sensory neurons or the sensory nerves, right? So sensory neurons, who will take this message? Sensory neurons will take this message. And where they will give this message? They will give it to the spinal cord. Okay. So what is a basic generally happens? Your sensory neurons, which are present in your skin, they will give the information to your spinal cord. Right? They will give the information. Your sensory neurons will give it to the spinal cord. Right? They will give it to the spinal cord. Then spinal cord will give the message to your muscles. Okay. And then you will withdraw your hand. So when you are touching a hot object, your finger will send the information. The sensory neurons present in your finger, the skin will give the information to the spinal cord. The spinal cord will then give the information to the muscles with the help of the motor neurons. Okay, with the help of the motor neurons. Okay, dear? And this action that is being performed is called a reflex action. What do you call this action? This action is called as reflex action. Okay. Okay, dear students, I hope this is clear. Let's understand it. So reflex action is basically a sudden, okay, it is an unconscious or you can say it is an automatic response, right? It is an automatic. Suppose there is a lot of air blowing there is wind blowing and suddenly some dust gets into your eyes. So immediately you close your eyes, isn't it? So it is a sudden, it is an automatic and unconscious or involuntary response of your effectors to a stimulus, right? For example, suppose you withdraw your hand if you are suddenly touching a hot object. Similarly, closing of your eyes, when some dust falls into it, immediately you will close your eyes. So all these actions, they are referred to as reflex action, right? Reflex action. So in short term, we can remember reflex action as SAM. It is basically a SAM. Okay, SAM. What is reflex action? It is a SAM. SAM means it is a spontaneous. A means it is automatic. M means it is a mechanical response. Okay, so reflex action is spontaneous, automatic and mechanical response of the individual to a particular stimulus. And it is an involuntary action. Involuntary action means it occurs without your control. Okay, you cannot control it. It occurs without your control. It is not according to your will. Clear? Suppose you want to lift your hand, that is your will. You want to lift your hand is your will, isn't it? But it is an involuntary action. This is not in your control. Okay, so involuntary action means the action which we cannot control. So it is a spontaneous, automatic and mechanical response to a particular stimulus. Okay, dear students? Right? So as I was talking about, suppose you touch a hot object, isn't it? You're touching a hot object. So this information, this pathway, the information travels this way. Sensory neurons will get the information, then it will go to your spinal cord, then the muscles will perform the action, right? Let's see this. In this reflection action, the nerves in the skin, that is your receptors, right, dear students? We have talked about the receptors in the yesterday's class. Receptors means your special neurons. Okay, these are the special neurons which are present in your sense organs. So there are special receptors in the skin which are called thermoreceptors. Okay, they are called as thermoreceptors. So these thermoreceptors, they get the message. So when you touch a hot object, these thermoreceptors, they will detect the heat. They will get the message, right? This message, they will give it to the sensory nerves and they will take to the spinal cord. Right, everyone? So thermoreceptors, which are present in the skin, they will detect the heat. Message will go to the sensory nerves or sensory neurons. Then the message will go to the spinal cord. The spinal cord will receive the message and will give the message to the muscles with the help of the motor neurons. Okay. And then you will withdraw your hand. See, this is how your information goes, isn't it? But it hardly takes few seconds. It hardly takes few seconds, because if it takes more than few seconds, maybe your finger, maybe your palm is burnt. So it's very, very fast. It's a very, very quick response. Okay, dear students? So this pathway is called the reflex action. Okay, this pathway is called the reflex action. Let's see it. Suppose there is something, you are touching a hot object. So receptors will get the message. The receptors will give the message to the sensory nerves or the sensory neurons. The message will go to the spinal cord. Spinal cord will give the message to the motor neurons or the motor nerves. Motor nerves will give the message to the muscles and you will withdraw your hand. आप अपना हाथ पीछे खींच लेंगे. So this pathway through which the message is traveling. Okay, dear students? This pathway through which the message is traveling is called reflex arc. What do we call this, students? Reflex arc. What do we call it? Reflex arc. Okay. So what is a reflex arc? The pathway through which the message is traveling in a reflex action. Right? Let's define it now. The pathway of reflex action is called reflex arc. Right? The pathway for reflex action is called reflex arc. So in a reflex arc, the information is first taken by receptors, then it will pass to the sensory neurons, then the message will go to the spinal cord, then from spinal cord the message will go to motor neurons, and the motor neurons will give the message to your effectors, and effectors means your muscles, and your muscles, they will remove your finger or withdraw your hand, right? They will withdraw your hand. Right? They will withdraw your hand. Okay, everyone? Right. So there is withdrawal of hand, right everyone? So there is withdrawal of your hand. Hand will be removed, right? So this is how the message will go, right? Okay. Okay, dear students. So this is how your message will travel, right? And this is called your reflex arc. I hope it is clear, everyone. Yes. Is there any doubt in the reflex section, reflex arc? I hope this is clear to everybody. Okay. So today your homework is, first of all, you will make notes of the topic and then you will read the page number 116. Okay, dear students, you will complete page number 116. And students, after this, we will not continue this chapter. Now, afterwards, we will be revising this chapter, right? We will revise the syllabus of periodic test 1, right? We will be revising the syllabus of periodic test 1, right? So I'll be stopping this chapter here itself, right? Okay. Bye everyone.